guys? Okay, I hope the lighting is a little bit better. I kind of rigged myself up a little curtain slash something. Anyway, I'm so professional, like you guys don't even know. Alright, so today I have got the L'Oreal Total Coverage, well, Infallible Total Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. Okay, we have seen this. We have all seen this. Alright, so what do we have here? This is the shade 301 Classic Ivory. Recently I've tried one other. I tried the Pro Glow foundation. Oh, it's kind of nice that it's got a squeezy to it. It's got almost like a precision tip, so that's kind of cool. The Pro Glow was okay. I think it would have been, I'm probably really red right now too because the curtain that I have is my red sweatshirt. Okay, anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about this foundation. Okay, so anyway, the Pro Glow wasn't bad, but the shade was, I was gonna say awful, but it was only awful to me because I'm such a, I really, really want a shade to match. You know what I'm saying? I just want it to match. And they make them a little bit too pinky for my skin tone. So this is the 301 Classic Ivory, and I honestly don't remember what the Pro Glow lightest shade was, but this is lightest shade in the Infallible Total Coverage. All right, so let's just see. So I think I'm gonna shake this up because it's coming out a little bit crusty looking. All right, let me shake this guy up. Oh my goodness. How long has this been sitting there? Oh, this is so separated. Like it sounds like a chunk, just a chunk of foundation. All right, so make sure you get a fresh foundation. Yeah, this foundation is so bad that it's just gonna separate. Let me see, like it has a shelf life of probably about 6 months, I would say. Anywhere from a year to 6 months. Oh, it doesn't say. Nope, it doesn't say. Alright, well, it doesn't say how long the shelf life is, but this sounds awful. Like, it sounds so awful. Alright, so, oh well, we'll just have to deal with it. So try and make sure you get a fresh tube if you possibly can. Alright, so it says the finish is a natural finish. It's supposed to last up to 24 hours. Coverage is high coverage. And the texture is air light. So maybe that's just because it's air light. It might be like a moussey texture. Now it won't come out. Now it won't come out. I don't know, L'Oreal. For a $13 foundation. There we go. Okay, that's much better. Much, much better. So I would suggest that you shake this guy up. The shade looks good. It's kind of hard to see with my curtain. Anyway, let's see what happens if I just take some of that down. Oh, all right. That's not too bad. Okay, so we'll just try that. So anyway, the shade looks fine. It actually doesn't look bad. Okay, so let's just try it. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my skin. It's kind of a moussey texture. Oh no, okay. See, now that I'm putting it on, I can kind of see that pinkiness that I do not like. All right, so we'll start out with a sponge. Okay, oh, you see that? This is very moussey. So sponge is fine probably, but I personally would either want to just really work this in with my fingers or a brush. I think would be my personal preference on this. And most of the time, like, it really is about your preference, whether or not sponge or brush is going to do it, because they both usually blend it in fine, but the sponge is almost always going to take away coverage rather than give it or maintain it. Look at me acting like I know stuff about makeup. This is from my personal experience. Alright, so that was less than a pea size probably, and it did cover pretty good. Now in this lighting it kind of looks like this is a little too light, but I think that's because of bad lighting. This lighting is giving you enough light to kind of see the coverage, but it's kind of making the difference between these two a little bit more than it actually is. And since I always get sun right here, like you can see, like this probably matches like my natural skin tone without any sun. And it's kind of hard when you are so fair skinned, because you want your face to match your neck, but sometimes your neck doesn't even match your chest area because of how the sun hits you. So, all right, so let's try the other side. So that is in fact, in my opinion, natural looking coverage. There is a bit of light reflection, so I wouldn't call this completely matte. This looks more like a natural slash satin finish. So I put out a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit. It's very moussey. So I'm gonna try, oh, that's probably a little too much. All right, I'm gonna try the brush, and I think I might like that better. Although the sponge blend out was not bad at all. And I would never say, you know, for this foundation, don't ever use a sponge. And honestly, I go back and forth on my preference. Sometimes I prefer a brush for like a couple weeks, and then I'm like, no, I only want to ever use a sponge. Then I'm like, no, sponges are stupid. So things change. And again, my camera is so weird. I don't know if everybody's phone camera is like this, but it just seems like the cloudier it is, the more sun I get shining on my face and not wanting to diffuse out and making it, my face look very reflective and not very like just natural sunlight, which I'm almost always looking for natural sunlight because I feel like that's a good representation of how you're going to really look. But what's weird about how we actually function in day-to-day life, a lot of women go to work and the artificial light will change the colors of your skin, your foundation, your eyeshadow colors, sometimes a little bit, sometimes a lot. So, and also the lighting from above sometimes will give you shadows right here. So, I mean, it's like you got to be strategic about your makeup. You can't just put it on and be all like, fine. It's like you have to make sure places are brightened where you want them to be brightened and concealed where you want them to be concealed. All right, so yes, it feels nice. It is a little bit tacky. I think the coverage is not bad. It's kind of hard to tell a little bit in this light because sometimes light washes you out and you look like you're getting better coverage than you actually are. I'm going to put a little bit extra right here, and almost always this side. I have a lot more pigmentation on this side, and my theory is because this is my driving side. This is where the sun hits when I'm driving. And for several years I would spend 2 hours driving in the city of Chicago. So and 3 times a week during the day. Yeah, 3 times a week I would do that. So, and since I'm so fair-skinned, like, it just gave me all this pigmentation. So, all right. So as far as building up, I don't think that built up amazingly well. It doesn't look worse, but it doesn't look like it's giving me more coverage. I feel like you've got a good, solid, highlight, maybe low medium coverage for this foundation. But since it's a mousse texture, it does feel very light on the skin. What's concerning to me about any mousse textured foundation is a lot of times it really does not stay put on my oily skin. Like I used to really like the and I still think I have a tube of it, I'm not sure, the Stay Matte Foundation from Rimmel. That was a mousse texture. It just can't hold up on my oily skin, and at the time when it first came out, I thought it was amazing because it was one of the rare ones that held up a little bit better than other foundations. But so, I'm not sure how this is going to hold up. We'll just see. And I will give you guys a little bit of a close-up. Hope you guys can see well and the lighting isn't too horrible. All right, so it looks nice. It's looking pretty ashy around my eyes, but that's, it's not a deal breaker for me because I've got so much pigmentation around my eyes, and I always put a concealer on after my foundation anyway, so that can be dealt with, no problem. It looks good. It looks good. I'm going to say this one looks pretty good. If you have dry skin, though, I would not recommend this. I have a little tiny patch of dry skin right there, and it's just not making it look great. My cheeks are a little bit drier than my T-zone, and when I say T-zone, I mean from like all the way down to here. I've got crazy oily skin, and even here and here. So there's a perfect circle right on my cheek. That's, I would consider normal skin. And it's sticking a little bit weird on there. Still feels a little bit tacky too. Yeah, so it just is not looking the best on these on my cheek. So if you have dry skin, I don't think I would recommend this. I think it would end up looking like a cakey, disgusting mess. So, and again, it's giving me a very natural finish. There is some light reflecting off it. It's not completely matte. So that's nice. So as of right now, it looks fine. Am I totally wowed by it? No, not at all. I mean, and you can kind of tell. I think when I go home, it's going to be too pink because you can kind of see the difference between my face and even my neck, even though my neck is lighter than my chest. So, all right, so I will wear this for the rest of the day, and I will update my thoughts in the description box below. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.